I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
A morning show coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana, and we'll begin with the top African news. My name is Philemon Edwards. In our first story, an American missionary pilot working for the evangelical organization 7 in Mission was kidnapped by unidentified assailants in Niger's capital, Niamey, on Tuesday night. The U.S. State Department is engaged in the case, which is the latest in a series of kidnappings in the country. The victim was reportedly transported towards the Mali border, a region known for ISIS and Al-Qaeda activities. The abduction follows a military coup and an expulsion of U.S. counterterrorism forces. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the incident. The U.S. State Department has confirmed that an American missionary pilot was abducted in Niger's capital, Niamey, on Tuesday night. The victim, a man in his 50s, working for the evangelical organization 7 in Mission, was seized in the Central Plateau neighborhood by 3 unidentified assailants. According to diplomatic sources, the kidnappers were already en route to the border to Mali, heading for the volatile Tillabéri region, a known operating zone for armed fighters linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. The U.S. State Department stated that its embassy is doing everything possible to secure the man's safe release, though no group has yet claimed responsibility. This incident marks the latest in a spate of kidnappings of foreign nationals in Niger this year. The security situation has deteriorated significantly since a military coup last July, which led to the expulsion of U.S. and French counter-terrorism forces. Observers note that the withdrawal has hampered the ability to monitor terrorist groups, even as the country turns to Russian mercenaries to help maintain stability. The South African government, in partnership with SANAC and UNAIDS, has launched a national strategy to introduce a new highly effective HIV prevention drug called Lenacapivir. The rollout is scheduled to begin in early 2026, initially targeting 23 high-incidence districts across 6 provinces. This initiative aims to curb new infections, particularly among adolescent girls and young women, who account for approximately 1,000 new cases weekly. The effort is funded by a $29 million US grant from the Global Fund, secured through a collaborative international partnership to ensure the medicine is affordable and accessible as a public good. The South African National AIDS Council convened a national meeting in Johannesburg to launch its strategy for Lenacapivir. A new drug clinical trials show it's 100% effective in preventing HIV in cisgender women and 96% effective in men and transgender individuals. Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi affirmed the government's commitment to making the drug a public good, stating that partnerships is the country's greatest strength in this fight. The initiative will first target 23 high-incident districts. A grant from the Global Fund will provide enough medicine for 450,000 people at high risk, with a focus on adolescent girls and young women who account for about 1,000 new infections each week. The Deputy Minister for Women, Youth and People Living with Disabilities, Steve Lachike, reaffirmed a collective commitment to justice, stating that no young woman or queer person must be left behind. Officials warned that the rollout faces challenges, including the spread of misinformation. Experts emphasize the importance of community trust and science literacy. The effort received a major boost from international agreements that will make generic versions of the drug available for just $40 a year, paving the way for affordable and sustainable access. A new study published in Nature suggests that COVID-19 vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna may provide an unexpected benefit beyond preventing infections, helping some cancer patients live longer. Researchers from MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston and the University of Florida found that patients with advanced lung or skin cancer who received an mRNA vaccine within 100 days of starting immunotherapy survived significantly longer than those who did not.
In the groundbreaking discovery, scientists say the same mRNA vaccine that helped the world fight COVID-19 might also strengthen the body's defense against cancer. The study, published last week in Nature, analyzed nearly 1,000 patients undergoing immunotherapy for advanced lung and skin cancer. Those who received Pfizer or Moderna COVID-19 shots lived longer than those who hadn't, even though the vaccines weren't targeting the virus this time, but seemed to awaken the immune system. Lead researcher Dr. Adam Griffin from MD Anderson Cancer Center said the mRNA technology acts like a siren to activate immune cells throughout the body, making cancer drug called checkpoint inhibitors more effective. While the study is still in early stages, researchers are preparing larger clinical trials to confirm whether pairing mRNA vaccines with cancer treatments could become a new frontliner in oncology. Health officials have called the findings a promising sign that vaccine science could one day redefine how doctors fight cancer, turning one of the pandemic's biggest innovations into a powerful new weapon against one of humanity's deadliest diseases.
Ghanaian police have rescued 57 Nigerian nationals from a human trafficking and cybercrime syndicate operating in Accra. The victims between the ages of 18 and 26 were found in a building in the capital suburbs on Wednesday, where they were forced to engage in online romance scams. Authorities arrested 5 suspects believed to be behind the operation and seized 77 laptops, 38 mobile phones, and several internet-enabled devices. Police say the victims were lured to Ghana under false promises of lucrative jobs, only to be coerced into illegal online activities. The rescued individuals are currently receiving care and support as investigations continue.
The victims, aged between 18 and 26, were discovered during a police raid on a building in an Accra suburb on Wednesday. According to the Criminal Investigations Department, they were trafficked from Nigeria under false promises of well-paying jobs in Ghana, but were instead forced to engage in online romance scams. During the operation, police retrieved 77 laptops, 38 mobile phones, 2 vehicles, and other internet-enabled devices believed to have been used in the fraudulent activities. Authorities say the rescued individuals are now receiving medical and psychological care while arrangements are being made to safely return them home. Human trafficking and online fraud remain persistent problems across West Africa. Ghana's Ministry of Gender and Social Protection reports 54 trafficking convictions in the last 2 years, while Interpol recently coordinated a continental crackdown that led to 260 arrests across 14 African countries. Police say investigations are ongoing to dismantle the wider network and bring all perpetrators to justice.
And in our final story, Ghana is mourning the death of former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, who passed away in Accra on Thursday morning at the age of 76 after a short illness. The wife of the late former President Jerry John Rawlings was widely recognized as a trailblazer for women's empowerment and one of the founding figures of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Her family officially notified President John Mahama of her passing as heartfelt tributes continue to pour in from political leaders, citizens, and international well-wishers honoring the legacy of her leadership and service. Ghana has been thrown into mourning following the death of former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. The 76-year-old passed away on Thursday morning in Accra after a short illness, according to presidential spokesperson Felix Kwakye Ofosu. Nana Konadu was the wife of Ghana's longest-serving leader, Jerry John Rawlings, who led 2 coups before becoming democratically elected president. Her family visited President John Mahama at the Jubilee House to officially announce her passing, as tributes flood social media celebrating her life and legacy. As First Lady, she founded the 31st December Women's Movement, empowering women across Ghana through entrepreneurship and education. She also played a key role in shaping gender equality provisions in Ghana's 1992 Constitution and championed inheritance rights for women and children. The National Democratic Congress described her as a remarkable woman whose lifelong commitment to empowering women and children has left an indelible mark on Ghana's history. Earlier this year, the party formally restored her title as founding mother of the NDC, recognizing her crucial role in shaping its ideals. Born on November 1948, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings was known for her elegance, resilience, and devotion to public service. She leaves behind 4 children, including Member of Parliament Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings. Parliament has adjourned in her honor as the nation prepares to bid farewell to one of its most iconic political figures, a woman whose impact will forever echo in Ghana's history. And that brings us to the end of the Top African News. Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the news review segment.
It's time to celebrate the 2025 African Universities Day, brought to you by the Association of African Universities AAU. On November 12th, universities across Africa will unite to celebrate knowledge, reflect on progress, and shape the future of higher education on the continent. From the 10th to the 14th of November, a rich lineup of activities will take place, including high-level symposiums, students' debates, policy dialogues, an innovation expo, awards gala, and many more. The celebration will be held in a hybrid format, with events taking place virtually and at the AAU headquarters in Accra, Ghana. This year's celebration will focus on the theme, the future of learning in Africa, technology, innovation, skills, and inclusive growth. Join African universities, policymakers, industries, development partners, and key stakeholders across Africa to explore the future of African higher education.
This is Hello Africa on AAU TV.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Welcome back to the show, and you're still watching the Hello Africa morning show. I'm coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities in Accra, Ghana. And joining me to do the news review segment is my brother, Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings.
Thank you so much, my man, Phil. What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. God's grace.
Was it a good weekend?
You know, a lot of things happened during my weekend. You know, a lot of things happened.
Okay.
Lots of strange things happened.
Strange good or strange bad?
Well, strange bad things happened. You know,
God.
Was quite dangerous. I was on my way to Kwa this week.
Okay.
For a funeral, but I encountered a very unfortunate ordeal on the way.
Okay.
My vehicle had to broke down or that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a massive one. It was a massive one. I'll tell you later after here. See how we survived
But we thank God that you are well and alive. That's the most
sure.
important thing, because we are entering the last part of the year, and often around the world you're experiencing these kinds of misfortunes on our roads and in most places. But we thank God that you are well and safe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this morning, before we begin our discussions, next month AU is doing something big.
Yes.
The Africa Universities Day.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So, you know, for so many years, the AAU has been marking this date, and judiciously, the AAU holds this date in high esteem because it's actually a moment that the AAU uses to commemorate its organization.
Yeah.
So many years ago in Rabat, Morocco, 133 universities sat down to shape the future of higher education through an association that would represent the interests and needs of African universities to collectively mobilize universities and lead them into a path of excellence. And that's how the AAU was born, 12 November 1967 in Rabat, Morocco. And we counted down that every year in November 12, we will climax the AAU's effectiveness, the AAU's achievements and excellence in championing research and innovation in Africa, in African universities, in championing the creation of favorable policies that help African universities to thrive. So this year is no different. And you know, we've had compelling themes over the years.
Yeah.
And this year you can guess what our theme is. This year, in a year where artificial intelligence has taken a very good stage in our education, it is actually dictating the paces of our education.
Yeah.
A period where you have very agile technologies, you have very ambiguous systems that are also controlling higher education. Your team should be the right fit for a time like this. So this year, the AAU is saying, together with it, African universities together, over 450 universities together, that we want to look at the future of learning, because in these times, we are in the right scope to discuss the future of learning in Africa. And we are looking at some very key pointers. Skills.
Okay.
What is the future of skills acquisition?
Yeah.
The future of innovation. And also inclusive growth, where everybody is involved.
Yeah.
So this theme has come at the very right time to mobilize African universities to this new era of education 4.0. Which is marked by the very disruptive technologies like robotics, programming, artificial intelligence, and a whole lot more. So there you have the AAU doing, as usual, what it's meant to do in championing the cause of higher education in Africa. So I give the AAU its props for this.
Absolutely. So basically, if you're wondering what the AAU or Africa Universities Day celebration is all about with AAU, that's the breakdown that Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings
But Phil, you left one thing out.
Yeah.
So this year, unlike any other year, we've had fully virtual sessions of the AAU celebration.
Yeah.
We've had sometimes we had fully physical sessions.
Yeah.
This time we're doing the blended mode, which we have been doing for some time now.
Yeah.
I think last year we had a blended mode.
Okay.
Yeah, we worked with Academic City University, and then we had a physical session with them, and then we had virtuals as well. Every year, or say this year, we dedicate a particular day for our partners. So the AAU's other regional offices, the Europe regional office, the South Africa regional office, the North Africa regional office, all these regional offices will have a stake in the programming, giving them special room to also tell their parts or their contribution towards this cause.
Yeah.
Because they are also, I would say, subordinates, or let's say subsidiaries of the AAU, who are also working in helping the AAU shape its vision. So they will also have a time on Thursday to express their contribution towards this team and helping the AAU achieve its goal. We will also have some very important exhibition fairs.
Okay.
We have realized that commercialization of innovative products is important.
Yeah.
If you go to our universities, particularly the technical universities, or let's say entrepreneurial universities, you have them creating incubation hubs.
Yeah.
They nurture students to be creative, right from the research phase to the innovation phase and the prototype forming phase. These students have created great ideas. They have prototypes hanging in shelves. Some have been gazetted. They are there. They are getting dusty.
And
We
it's
want
about
to
time.
use the period,
Yeah.
the occasion, to invite them to have booths or tables, set up your own innovation table right during the fair, and tell us about that innovative product you have. Maybe somebody will meet you and say, I want to fund this,
Yeah.
or want to take this to the next level, to give it a route to market, so employability can be the commonplace. So, Phil, this year's AUB celebration promised to be an amazing one, an all-inclusive one. Everybody is involved. Nobody is left out. So, innovators, funders, you are all invited to come on board and make this a success as usual.
Yeah, I very much want to agree with you on the ideas that have been shelved. It's about time. Beyond the AU Day,
They have to be commercialized.
they have to be properly commercialized.
Sure.
Let us start seeing the commercial value of the things that have been produced in Africa.
Definitely.
And so, in summary, or let me say, the theme, okay, that Dr. Agyemang broke down. I'll just read it out for you. And the theme for the year is the future of learning in Africa: technology, innovation, skills, and inclusive growth.
Yeah.
That's what we are talking about this year at the Africa Universities Day. So join us on the 10th to the 12th, to the 14th of November, 2025 here at the AAU, and celebrate this day with us. All right. So we'll get into our first story for the review or discussion segment, and we'll unfortunately begin on a sad note because one of Ghana's finest iconic figures, a former First Lady in the person of Nana Konadu, Agyemang-Rawlings, sadly passed on Thursday morning at the age of 76. And she, as the wife of the late former President Jerry John Rawlings, who also died about 2 years ago in the same hospital in Accra. This is a very sad one for the country. The president, John Dramani Mahama, was officially notified by the family same day the incident happened, and then he released a statement that allowed the country to mourn for 3 days from Friday to Sunday, and flags had to fly at half-mast to honor the person of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. So we just want to briefly look into her life and background as a former president. And in summary, the one statement I can make is, I don't know all of the former first ladies that have been in this country, but as far as I can remember, she probably is the most impactful first lady this country has seen, as long as I can remember. I mean, I stand to be corrected, but she probably is one of the most impactful first ladies Ghana has seen. What do you make of
Yeah, undoubtedly, I think that you're right on this one. Nana Konadu, the late Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, was a starblizer. I mean, she has been an inspiring figure from day one.
Yeah.
A woman who is poised with so much bias for action. And if you look at the trajectory, all that she had left behind, you can say she had indeed contributed a quota.
Yeah.
As a woman who started the 31st women movement in Ghana, and she was also always yearning to push women into leadership positions.
Yeah.
She always stood for it. She is, I would say, one of the first women to also start frontiering for their own political parties, pushing that women should be also given a chance to be in leadership positions, positions of power and authority politically. She believed that, and it worked for her. She has been a woman who had inspired many. To be the mother of the very amiable Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings. If you see the kind of caliber of a woman that she is, her traits and the values that she upholds, you can appreciate that, well, it can be traced to a woman who has a stockpile of all these gems of great values that she has also imparted her children. The likes of Kemati. You can see the model of a kind of person that he is in the children, and the ones that we don't even know personally. But I think that she has been a very remarkable and phenomenal figure in women empowerment. It hasn't been easy for women in our part of the world. You can agree with me. Women have not had it easy in terms
at all.
Their role play and their progress. We have evolved through tough times, dark ages. So many years ago, where women didn't stand a chance in some areas, but we see that it kept changing over time because people like her were advocating and leading very healthy courses to give women a chance. And today we see a changed terrain when it comes to inclusive and equitable roles for women and men within Ghana. So I would want to say that she has really, really left a great legacy, a woman of her sorts. If you should watch the video that was playing, I never knew that she had that relation with the Otumfuo. Because she was born in the central region, so one wouldn't think that there's a connection.
But family-wise, they are related.
Yeah, she actually admitted.
I understand they're cousins, I think.
Yeah, she admitted that she was from the royal family, and then her cousin, her cousin is Otumfuo. So wow, that's unique. It tells you that like the chain, a very complex chain, but still builds a very beautiful family tree within Ghana, which I think should also be cherished.
It's a beautiful tribute you have just given to her. And one of the things I have admired about her, not only her, beyond her, is between her and her husband. Let me say they are one of the most influential families this country has seen. But I absolutely admire how they brought up their kids. Zenato, Amina, Kimathi, and Yasantwa. Like wonderful children. Looking at the influence that their parents had. These are kids who could have misbehaved or done anything untoward. But these are well brought up kids. Now we see the likes of Dr. Zenato in Parliament, following in the footsteps of her parents. So as a family, I can also equally say that they have done a great job in what they have done, raising their kids and then, protecting their family legacy, so to speak. So it's a beautiful thing.
It's saying that when the frog dies, it is when the frog dies that one is able to appreciate its height or length. I'm just saying it in our own adage. As I say, approach anyone, when she was alive, nobody knew the things she had done. Because it is not of good practice for you to come telling people what you have done.
Of course.
Yes, that is for the braggarts. Let the braggarts brag. But let your legacy talk for you. Did you know that every Saturday morning, is it morning or afternoon or evening, there's this program that really captivates me that I always don't want to miss. We call it the By the Fireside.
Oh yes, at the time, that was on Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m.
Afternoon 4. So
at 4 p.m.
When I go to church and I close, I want to go and then catch up with Mami Dokoro, Grace Omabo, who is living. And she will tell great stories which have good lessons. Today, we've lost such programs on our TVs, which I call on all TV stations to go and bring back those good things that shaped good character. Today, they are just putting programs that really degrade character, which I would say
I completely agree
unequivocally. They are not building good character.
I completely agree.
This program brought kids together and had special tales of Anansi that after watching, you will laugh, but it will give you some food for thought a lesson how you can shape your good character from Anansi.
Yeah.
And she was the one behind it.
Yeah.
So I can say that to a long extent, she was also contributing to that tapestry of moral fiber within our country. So Nana Konadu, well done on that one.
Yeah, I remember so well on the Badavaya Side show. Anytime it ends, when you see the end credits of the show, you see that this is probably powered, something that tells you this is powered by the 31st December Women's Movement.
Oh, really?
Something of the sort. So I remember so well that she's the brain behind this, and she definitely found the right person, Grace Omabo, to do the storytelling, and it has shaped many of us, especially millennials. The Gen Zs don't know what this is about. When you talk about
our Gen Zs
have a different idea.
They are not getting the best out of that. There's a lot of good things that had passed.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. So
she was also she was also behind, you know, in the barracks, advocating for there to be barracks for soldiers and police officers.
Yeah.
It's something that she had also championed.
Yeah.
And that is also kudos to her.
Yeah.
You know, in her book that was published in 2018, It Takes a Woman. Indeed, it takes a woman.
Yeah.
Because sometimes men, we get hot-headed and we don't really consider the little things. But it takes a woman who sits to do a very deep intro and retrospection and tells you, why don't you do this? Well, this comparison between the IQ of women and IQ of men. And it's very clear. Now, what women do, women are able to do a far research.
Yeah.
They can look at ramifications ahead of time.
Yeah.
And tell you what can happen. So before they enter something, they seem to know what they're going for. But for men, we actually are on the bias for action. When we get involved, we don't want to talk.
Highly logical.
Yes. So it takes a woman indeed to contribute to all these things, because whatever seed she planted had a far-reaching impact on the youth. The Butterfly side, the first women movement, and even the one with the police and barracks. Imagine if police and soldiers had no barracks.
Yeah.
Where would they be?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be very, very disturbing. So today we see that her contributions indeed were far-fetched and were visionary. So as a woman as such, I would say it's sad to have lost her, because she is, I would say, a potential state counsel. People like that are like state memories.
Yeah.
You will need to refer to her for her to give you that antecedents that you couldn't have gotten. Where are these people that we always have to call on to give us that background? Well, I believe that she is part of many whom we've lost, and dearly we sympathize. I sympathize. I don't know you should do so. We sympathize with the family, because we've really lost a very special person dear to our hearts.
Yeah. Yeah. And talking about her life in politics, I believe this is a thing that should be reflective for women, especially in politics, and should possibly influence a lot more women to get into politics, because the influence she had over the last 20 years or so in her time in politics, when with her husband, even when they were out of office and all of those things, and all the things she kept doing. We see her in social events, how she lights up the mood, even with her dance moves and skills. Like all of these things. This is a thing that I would want to encourage every young African woman to embrace, because look, there's a lot more we can do, far beyond what we can do individually for our lives. This family just share their whole lives with us. Okay, so it is the reason this loss is a huge one. But I'm glad that they have been able to bring up children who are already in the process and are stepping in their shoes, and not necessarily replicating what their parents have done, but they are also carving their own niche and trying to do what they can equally do for the country and the society at large. So together, and on behalf of AU, we join our voices to say condolences to the Rawlings family and the entire nation. Okay, so we'll get into our next story, and would talk a little bit about breast cancer, because we are still in the month of October, which is the
last week.
Which is the month of breast cancer awareness. So as we close the month of October globally, marked as the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, health experts in Ghana are raising alarms over the country's increasing breast cancer deaths. despite more than a decade of awareness campaigns. The Vice President of the the Breast Society of Ghana, Dr. Na Adoko Aite, attributes the troubling trend largely to late reporting, fear of surgery, and stigma. Many women, she noted, still delay seeking medical help until the disease has reached advanced stages, drastically reducing survival chances. The Ghana Health Services Non-Communicable Disease Control Program Manager, Dr. Wallace Odike Olenu, urged women to take advantage of the National Health Insurance Scheme's coverage for breast cancer screening, emphasizing that early detection saves lives. Survivors and advocates, including Trudy Arnold of the Trudy Arnold Foundation, called for greater education, community outreach, and empathy to dismantle stigma and encourage regular screening, particularly in rural areas where awareness remains low. I am sad to hear that in still this day and age, women, or some women specifically, are scared of reporting to hospitals to do the breast cancer screening. I'm struggling to understand. I mean, I can't explain, but pardon me if you're not getting my emotions correctly. But I'm struggling to understand, because this is a disease that if anybody is not lucky and they contract it, they can easily die. It's a cancer, for goodness sake. So I find it difficult to understand why people would rather report to the hospital late. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, it is unfortunate that this is what the case is, and we would have to appreciate why it is like that. You know, recently I also had encountered a situation with someone who was reluctant to visit the healthcare center for a checkup. You know what he said? I'm afraid that when I go to do a checkup, I may end up with more bills to pay than I expected. And that's the reason why he would rather, or she would rather, spend their time managing their issue the very best way they can. Because of the costs they will spend. You know, Phil, our health system has a challenge. And this challenge cannot be solved through blames. It can be solved when we build concerted efforts. We all don't have the way or the wherewithal. We need to come together to build it firmer for the ones who can't afford. Many people have health insurance cards which are outdated. Why? They are not eager, or they've lost enthusiasm to update it. Because they don't believe in a system. You've heard many people say that I took my card there and they said this is not covered. All the essential things, all the essential health care items are not covered by the health insurance. So then what is its use to update if it won't cover very important things that you want to do? So breast cancer awareness. The awareness of breast cancer, it's October every year. Does it mean that women who are experiencing some odd things in their breast can only see the need in October that year? What are the next steps for every woman who experiences a lump or a misnomer in their breast? What should they do? They enter a hospital and say, oh, yes, last time it was a breast cancer period, so there were some discounts. This time, it's not October yet, so you will pay full. Would you go? You will not go. So you see, the system, if we are worried, and that's why, if we are worried about the rates of death recorded through breast cancer, if it's a worry, then we should find a very sustainable way of helping every woman have confidence to walk into any hospital or any clinic anywhere in the world, even in this country, that I'm here to do a checkup, and will not put their hands on their head and regret ever walking in there because they have bills to pay, because their lives were at danger. We should not create an environment Not now. Look at the other things that people have seen. The healthcare systems, nurses, doctors, all trying to drop their tools. We discussed last time. So all this is feed into the mindset.
Yeah.
The confidence of the Ghanaian woman to walk into a health facility and get checked and be prioritized. Like her life is so precious. It's what we need, that mindset.
Yeah.
Because what stops you from entering that place is because what awaits you there is beyond what you think you will get. And why must we continue to put fear in ourselves, in our country, just because we want to live and live well?
That's a big deal, and
It's cost.
It's a big
It's
question
cost.
you just asked. It's cost.
It's cost.
I agree on the issue of cost. So if you ask me, it makes sense to me that now the NHIS card covers the screening, but that's the basic screening. I understand. As I understand, I stand to be corrected. But beyond the basic screening, other things might escalate only if there's a complication or what's it called? Whatever is found in the breast. Okay, then that's when they do further tests and things like that, which I think the NHIS does not cover. So I think that based on this information, people should try to upgrade or renew their NHIS cards. I took the chance to upgrade or let me say, pay for my card again last year. I had done, my first time I did my card was in 2012. So I had not used it when it expired, I think after 1 year.
Yeah.
And I had never done anything about it. So since, let's say 2013 up to 2024, that's about 11 years in between, was when I went back to the NHIS to renew. And I think I paid about 30 cedis for that, which I think is normal, not too expensive. So I did that, and then it was done, and then it was linked with my Ghana card. So when I go to the hospital now, I only have to present my Ghana card, and that's it. So for some services, I could have paid, let's say, 80 cedis, 100 cedis. I pay as low as 20 cedis because I had to do a few things back then. So I thought, let me run through that process and see how it works. And then that's the results I got. So we have had challenges in the health system in Ghana. And in Africa at large, many countries have that kind of thing. But I feel like we are making little steps, which we can still take advantage of. The economic factor definitely is a huge thing. Many people actually die as a result of the lack of money because they can't.
You have no money, how can you go to?
And those things they are suffering from can be cured. But because they don't have the resources to go to the hospital,
people in their rooms right now, currently, they are sleeping in their rooms, trying to adopt traditional medicine, which we are warned. You see, traditional medicine in itself entirely, it's not bad, but there's a problem in its consumption. Because of dosage.
When it comes to dosage,
so we always say that before you would go and then put yourself on any traditional medicine, try and then seek the official, I would say, orthodox treatment. Go to a doctor, let them do their, I would say, diagnosis on you, and then recommend. Because for the traditional people, they will never say go back there. They will try and hold you down. But at least you have to go and get yourself screened from that level, and the recommendations from that thereof would help you. So let us rebuild the confidence in our health sector. With one, trying to tackle costs for the essential, I would say, treatments, like breast cancer. What would be the use of an announcement that we are losing many women to breast cancer when there isn't any frantic effort, which is carried out with all seriousness and meticulously crafted, that we want to protect women who suspect anything. So from henceforth, if you're a woman and you have any perception of any lump in your breast, either left or right, walk to your nearby hospital or clinic, and let's do a screening for you, which is free.
That can be established. We don't have to wait for the October thing.
And when they go and there's actually something like that, they should be put under MRI scan and then taken on also free.
Well, I honestly think something like this can be
done.
Yes,
because if not, and the MRI will cost her more than she can how many women today, I mean, look when you go out there, those women who are caught or who find themselves within that condition are dying. I think that we should get the data very well.
Yeah.
The demographics. And let's see those of them who are in the formal sector and the informal sector. Let's see. I can tell you perhaps that it would be from the informal sector. Because they are the ones who are not privy to those information.
Yes.
They are in the marketplaces, struggling and hustling,
Yeah.
and are prone to all of these effects. Whilst the woman in the career woman in their offices are prone to the information. They can grab their smartphone and read something and walk it because they are covered heavily.
Yeah.
So if we really want to make impact and then cut down the mortality rate, then we should ensure that we give more room and leverage to the women out there in the informal sector. Those who have not got the wherewithal, giving that free service. So they are not afraid to go to the hospital for a checkup. Or else this data will just be history. We hear more and more.
I completely agree with you because given the statistics that I'm looking here, even before the very deep ones you were suggesting, 1 out of every 12 Ghanaian women may be diagnosed of the breast cancer during her lifetime. Okay, and studies have also shown that over 70% of cases are diagnosed at the late stage, stages 3 and 4, and where that time the treatment is more expensive.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, when it is discovered early enough, the lump can be taken out and the person will be free.
When you sound it that whenever you experience anything unusual,
anything
in your
abnormal,
breast, walk into, be confident, walk into anywhere, they will take care of you without any burden of cost. You see what will happen.
Well, maybe somebody should give this a try.
We need to make it work because, as I was saying, I will not be here telling you how worried I am about something if I know I can't make any tangible effect or change in that area. I won't come lamenting. I only come lamenting when I, just do something about it.
Yeah.
If you are worried, then work it out.
Yeah. The other factor is also the women or group of women who are also afraid of the fear, or they have the fear of surgery. As a result of that, they do not want to go into any facility, even if they are experiencing any pain or anomaly in the breast. I find that difficult to understand because I look at the comparison. I think that if it is better to go have a surgery, even if the breast will be taken off, it's better than anybody losing their lives, because many women have families to feed, they have children. I don't know if they think about all of these things.
When it gets that bad, it's very traumatic. It's hard to deal with that trauma.
I know.
Because now you know that you are going to have, some it gets that bad to have both breasts cut off.
Yes.
And let's say if this woman is a breastfeeding mother, I mean this is very disturbing. And even the effect on the man.
Yes, that's another
thing. How important the breast is to the man. So I mean, it's very, very disturbing when we see things get that bad to that point. It's and as a woman who ends up with that situation, the trauma, you would need a very strong and motivated husband or family to motivate you. I saw an interview on GBC broadcast show, the TV broadcast show, and the woman who has survived breast cancer.
Okay.
She has had both breasts cut off.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. But she said the husband had been very supportive.
Wow.
And always trying to keep her together, because it's very disturbing for you to go through that procedure and bounce back as yourself mentally, having known that you have nothing to show on your chest. This is very traumatic. But that is how bad it gets.
Well,
so,
I
Phil,
think I'm beginning to understand from your point
it gets that bad. So you see, if we look at it from the prime point, it's first of all, what stops you from going to check when you have any unusual feeling? Why should you think twice? What will make you think twice about this? It's because you are thinking that when I end up there, will I have money to pay for all those other procedures that I will go through? When that comes in, you will say, well, I think it's nothing. Let me just leave it like that. Even though your instincts tell you that, good, but you're afraid. And that's how it will grow and destroy and be very destructive to you. So, we have to.
Well, anyway, so lastly on this, I just want to touch on what the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service, in partnership with the Breast Society of Ghana and some NGOs, have done. They have intensified free community screening exercises, and I like that it is free for the screening. Okay, and then intensify media advocacy and survivor storytelling. Partnerships also with religious and traditional leaders to dispel the myth and promote early screening. And I like the last point, the partnerships with religious and traditional leaders, because we know how religious Africa is, and specific countries like Ghana. So these are places where you can have the masses of the people. So I feel like possibly if you don't get the market women or the people who are in the informal sector, if you don't get them to do like a free screening or even have a conversation with them, maybe when you engage the religious bodies, you can have this set of people. So I would just want to encourage churches as well, when there's that time of, not even necessarily, you don't have to wait for the time of the year when we are doing the October, whatever. At some points in your church calendar, maybe 2-3 times in the year, these things should be done. Do a health screening for your members. I mean, I don't think it costs that much to do these kinds of things. It's an issue of partnership, okay? Make sure that whoever you are partnering with benefits something from your church, and you equally benefit from health.
And Phil, you know,
things too.
that is exactly what I was saying. That you see, when you try to commemorate these health issues, that's what the problem is. It's like you say that the whole year we use November for HIV/AIDS awareness. You tell me that we spend all our lives doing what we want, and we use 1 month to remind ourselves of how disturbing a disease is. So we should educate that. Why should that month be the month where everybody begins to awaken their conscience and now make services free or treatments free for that?
Yeah.
So what you mean is that you can forget about it. When that month approaches, we'll now all wake up for it.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Which is wrong.
I think that, you
Absolutely
see, you
wrong.
can use some month to commemorate things, fine.
Yeah.
To intensify movement, but it should not end there. It should be a daily activity, because these women, as we said, have waited for things to worsen.
Yeah.
Because they waited for October.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody knows October is the month. We'll put that pink ribbon on my
Pink
chest.
October.
Yes. So breast awareness, breast consciousness, or breast care is only awakened.
It's part of health.
It's only awakened in October. So post October, everybody go and feel free.
It's some way. Yeah. Anyway, let's look at some comments that have come in so far. So this one is coming from Sarah from Niger, and says, "Thank you, AAU TV, for this insightful show on breast cancer. It's a powerful reminder that early detection, awareness, and support can make a real difference in saving lives." Thank you, Sarah. And we have one from Chris in Accra, "A champion of girls and women's rights, caring, fearless, and strong. May her light keep inspiring. Rest in perfect peace, Ohima." And I'm sure that's for the late Nana Konadu, Agyemang-Rawlings. And another one from Michael from KNUST. And it reads, "What a year. This year we've lost a lot of our great people. Asante Hima, the Chopper Crash, Daddy Lumba, Kantanka, Raila Odinga, and a lot. And now our former First Lady. May their souls rest in perfect peace." Absolutely, I agree. 2025 has been crazy, but
the year has not even ended, though.
it's not even ended.
I'm hoping that it gets
but we trust God.
It lands better. We don't want any more
for safe landing.
Yeah, safe landing.
We trust God. We trust God for that. All right, so we'll get into the next story, and this is quite an interesting one because it happened over the weekend. There's a lot of conversation. It's actually a huge trend on social media where Ghana's Education Minister Haruna Iddrisu has announced that the use of local languages as a medium of instruction is now compulsory in all basic schools across the country. Now, the directive issued during the launch of a free tertiary education for persons with disability initiative in Accra is part of President John Mahama's reset agenda aimed at improving foundational learning outcomes. The minister explained that children learn best in their native languages and has ordered the Ghana Education Service to ensure full enforcement nationwide. He also highlighted other education reforms, including a 31 million cedi scholarship initiative for students with disabilities, a 50 million cedi biannual GET fund commitment, and a $30 million Chinese government grant earmarked for the establishment of a Catholic Science University in Damongo, alongside 2 new technical universities in Jasikan and Techiman. This story, the first question that hit my mind when I heard it was, how would you teach mathematics in local language? any local language. I mean, in Ghana. I mean, considering the number of local languages we have in the country, I'm not saying that it is not possible, but I'm trying to understand because I did hear a soundbite where the minister was saying that at the launch of this, he said that a school kid was in class and his teacher was speaking and saying something, and the kid just goes like, so speak a little bit of vernacular or I can, so I can understand what you mean or what you are saying. And he goes on to say it is because we are not born into an English society. Are we getting something wrong here?
Yes, Phil, it's very unfortunate. I would say it's unfortunate, but let me just start from somewhere. So my background, my research background is into pedagogy, indigenous knowledge, and also innovative ways of teaching and learning. Okay. So when today I hear that there's an enforcement to capitalize or prioritize local languages in teaching and learning, I'm glad that we are getting to that point where we are awakening ourselves to see why we should also cherish our indigenous knowledge. Now, the fact that, the context local language in this case still means there's more work to be done. What local language are we talking about here?
Exactly.
Yes, because Ghana as a country, for so many years, has adopted the foreign language, the English language, which is not our lingua franca. We all know that when we are born into you are from a tribe. There's no tribe in Ghana or any group in Ghana that speaks English. That speaks English. English is what we were colonized into. So we should understand that. It's either you are Fanti, you are Ga, you are Shanti, you are Bruno, or you are Ga Dangbe, or you are Dagbani, or Sisala, or Mamprusi. These are all people and they have their languages. Or Hausa. Good. Our teacher training institutions, when they are deployed, what has been I would say the instructional language that they are deployed with? To go ye therefore and teach the students of Ghana in English.
Yes.
So go with the days when if I spoke Chi in class, somebody will grab the sheet and remember my names of vernacular speakers. And we tainted our language.
We used to be whipped for
for vernacular in class. So you have to speak English today. Somebody say, "Oh, you can speak good English." You know how many times I've been shipped? That's how we demonize our own language, vernacular, and made English take everything. Today, we are all beginning to see the need for us to contextualize our education. Because the book that you are reading, that science concept, was devised by Albert Einstein and co, Charles Darwin and co. They are the ones who propounded the theories. And they have been fabricated in books and have been brought down here for you to read. And how do you understand these things? And what kind of attitude do you have towards that lesson? My example, when I was in school, I always feared mathematics. You know why I feared maths?
Tell me.
Because they never mentioned that, one John K. Kwapon said that he brought a theory called set theory. Everything is by one John Venn or Charles this or everything came from a foreign land. All the brilliant people. So I grew to know, all the brilliant people in the world were up there. And that there was nobody brilliant here. But I just found out, or I had known, that there's one man called Charles Aloti, Prof. Charles Aloti, the late, who has been a very great figure in the world of mathematics. Who knew about him? Which book captured him?
We still have some great who are even working with
and
NASA
which theories did he put together that we didn't even know? Look at that. We are doing ourselves a huge disservice. We've done it for 60 years and we are still doing it. But today we see the light. But I think this light can be a better light. It's, this beam of light is so narrow. We still call it local language. Which local language? Which local languages are we prioritizing? So
that's a major question.
So if I'll be posted to Mamprusi or Sisala. Which local language am I talking about there? Because the boys and girls in that classroom only speak their Dagbani. And I am Ashanti. So how do I teach Ashanti in class to students who don't hear that Ashanti? So, Mr. Minister, I don't know if he was politically driven to do this, but he sometimes, in our world, in our Ghana, we are so ad hoc with our steps. We don't build consistent efforts when we are doing this. So at the end of the day, we still have backlogs. When he said we should enforce, how are we enforcing this? If you are fancy and you were posted by, I mean, how we do the posting? These postings are done without any considerations.
Yeah.
They just post you like they are dealing with you and punishing you.
Yeah.
They will punish you, say, we will take you to Bronga Hafo,
Yeah.
where the language spoken over there and the way it sounds is different.
Yeah.
You have to add the bear to every expression. You can't go and say things without adding the bear. How can you thrive? And how can you help the children over there? Today, we are now seeing that there's value in our local languages to help build attitude or enhance attitude and achievement of our children in classroom. Because if I hear you speak all the big English, one, to even understand what you are giving me, I have to appreciate the language you are using. And your jargons, how do I configure? I'll sit in class. As for yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's an anthem. Do you understand? Yes, sir.
One of my primary school teachers said these are goods.
I tell you,
it's a string goods
I have
answer.
been part of those streams. Well, I know I got nothing. But do you understand? Yes, sir. When I say no, sir, everybody will say, hey, who is this guy? You are so
You
are so
actually embarrassed
daft.
to say no.
Leave the class. So you have to join the bandwagon and say yes, sir, yes, sir. Meanwhile, you know you are empty.
This conversation is interesting because
We have suffered in this country.
you see, I would have appreciated a more deeper perspective of it because the per what the minister said, okay, we are making this mandatory to use the local language in school now. In Ghana, we have over 80 indigenous languages spoken by over 75 ethnic groups. Which one are we instituting? Like you said.
So you see, the system has to be recalibrated. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. But this time around, if you want us to enforce the use of local languages, I will say our indigenous language. It's not a problem. That means that you don't have to be posting people across the length and breadth like you're playing golf.
Yes.
Let those from that area work in that area. So they will not come and then end up impoverished somewhere else. Let them stay there and use their legal franca they know to impact them. So if I was born in Kumasi, I stay in Kumasi to teach, and I teach them the Ashanti way.
Yeah.
Let everybody teach their children or their kids or their words the way they know and they understand better to the language they speak in that area. Don't go and ambush anybody in an area they cannot speak very well and teach very well. That's one. Anyway, we'll have to go for a quick break and come back and then come and continue
we'll
that matter.
continue on this because there's something I need in this thing. We'll be back shortly.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Welcome back from that break, and while on break, the conversation was still going on about using the local languages as a major instructional language or tool in our classrooms going forward, as stated by the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. Doc, you were saying something before we went to the break, and even what you were saying, I would want our audience to hear this.
Yes, I was saying that, there is a very prominent figure within the African space called Professor Peter Okebukola, who invented this approach to teaching and learning called the cultural techno-contextual approach, where cultural means that culture is given great attention using cultural antecedents, cultural backgrounds that is relatable to the people in that setting to help them appreciate some difficult concepts. Technology means a very, I would say, disruptive force you cannot do without. So people using the likes of Google, ChatGPT, or any other tech platform or tech device in the classroom to acquire knowledge or to do research is inclusive. Context means that using the students' immediate context, things they see, things they relate to on a day-to-day basis because they spend their time in the classroom, as part of their teaching and learning, all together culminates to help them enhance their understanding, achievements, proficiency, and even attitude towards learning. Do you remember sometimes back in school, a teacher wants to class and then puts a topic on the board, and then all of a sudden you feel like you are sick. no, that feeling, right?
I know
you are lost.
Yes.
And you are not paying attention. You are disturbed.
Yeah.
Because that's attitude. Your attitude is bad. It's like, I don't like this topic. It's because of the way to approach to you.
Yeah.
So we have, and we realize that the culture, being our own cultural, the Homo, these cultural antecedents, proverbs, these are our cultural elements, can be used to mix with these topics or these instructions, and then serve to you, the student, to appreciate it. I remember one teacher that I met that I always love his class. He was called Mr. Washington Odu.
Okay.
Wherever he is, Mr. Washington, I appreciate you. When this man comes to class, he is able to bring lots of knowledge, both indigenous, both international, continental, to explain the concept. He was the one who made us understand that, listen, your human system, the one for digestion, is like a community. When something happens, it has to be registered somewhere, and it will pass to this person. They need to spend a day here because they are reviewing it like the palace. So it helped you to now reimagine having an allegory of what you are learning in your mind. So even if you forget the words, the picture you painted in your mind is what you can use to rewrite it again. That's what we call overcoming rote learning. Yeah. Because now you are the one producing the knowledge with your own understanding, but it fits the context it's supposed to fit. This is what we're talking about here. Using our cultural elements to make learning meaningful. And that's what the minister is seeing now. And I mean, to all ministers in the past of education, why are we now seeing the light? Why are we now realizing that, oh, even local languages that we speak here could help enhance student understanding? Because a language that you were not born into, you have to struggle to understand and appreciate, is what is being used to teach you. What Superman are you or woman are you to get this? Because some people struggle to do it, we think that others can do so. Now, back to the study. Recently, the same Professor Okebukola began a whole new approach of research, trying to see if using monolingual approaches, local languages, to teach a group. So let's say the Gen Z language, you know Gen Z language, right? The short languages and those
short forms.
Yes, short forms. And then using a local language, let's say Yoruba. So I had 3 groups of students. One group I taught using the local language, let's say Akan. In Ghana, we all know that the length and breadth of this country, there's one language that when you speak, we don't have to go and call anybody to come and interpret. It's Akan language. And Akan language is one method I'm using. And the other method I'm using is also using the Gen Z language, which is English blended with local language. So local language small, Gen Z language small. Then another one, I'm using one language, which is English. So one local language, a blend of the two, and then one English. And then teach them, let's say, a topic like, give me a topic you know.
Sexual reproduction.
Sexual reproduction. Everybody loves that topic, right? people are attentive in class.
Yeah.
When they hear that we are doing
that's when
production.
people are most attentive.
Yes. And then use, let's say I'm in class. I'm say, oh, for example, in tree. In the Obama no, what's one of pa, but one say, Adebia sorry winning. A chess say, woo nini. Adebi wo ho, your friend or a mwaki to be a friend with spams. Saturday and a wunipa. So I'm teaching you these things. Then I go to another class. That class. So you know, you for the she say that morning that thing go turn up. When it turn up, it means there's something there inside. You go feel power. You go feel kill something. So I'm doing it. Then the last group two, I'm going English. So when you wake up in the morning, you realize that you have an ejaculation or erection. Erection happens. It means that there's something called scrotum. In the scrotum, there lies semen. In semen, there lies some elements called sperms that can give birth, or they can form an embryo when you meet a woman's cells in the ovary. In these three contests, Phil, tell me, in which contest would you want to be in and why? As in class.
Yeah.
Which class would you want to be in?
The one that you would easily understand is where you might be, which is likely to be the one that you can easily relate with.
Yes. So, there can one.
Yes.
So your body, you say your friend, then say your friend.
You see, that's because in the like, informal
that
way,
is the thing.
That's the language you are often speaking.
Yes. What I say?
Yeah.
Your body, you say, hey, you say your friend, aye.
Yeah.
It is yadie. Okofia. I tell you, when you go home, you go and ask questions, and that's how learning starts. Learning is when, from the classroom, the student is eager to go and ask questions at home, and would also get more knowledge from their parents about what was taught in class. So learning it's an evolving space. You gather small here, you go and gather some small there, and then you can add those two and build a great knowledge. So that is what we're trying to do. It's good. It's a good direction.
Yeah.
And this should never be rescinded.
Yeah.
It should be progressed. We should see more innovative approaches, which are more indigenous, are added to this local languages use. And the enforcement tool should be backed by strategy.
Absolutely.
Not just a policy line down.
And a sustainability plan.
Good.
I'm always interested in the sustainability plans of the things we do in Africa.
Good. They shouldn't be optical. They should be very serious about this.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So to end this discussion, Ghana joins a growing list of African nations, including Ethiopia, Tanzania, and South Africa, integrating mother tongue instruction into basic education systems. And this policy resonates with UNESCO's recommendation for mother tongue-based multilingual education to improve literacy rates across the continent. So I'll read a few messages and then we'll move on to the next story. Gideon from Ghana says, good morning, AATV. I totally agree with Dr. Agyemang. As someone currently in the Northeast region who doesn't speak Dagbani or Mampuli, I find it impractical to implement local language instruction without considering the logistics. How would teachers from other regions effectively communicate with learners? Ahmed from the Central region says, this is a good initiative by the Education Minister, but it must first start from teacher deployment stage. Currently, we have a lot of teachers from the southern part being posted to the north where they don't have any idea about their language. Yeah, so the people are sharing the same sentiments.
What's the rationale behind that?
Yeah. Emmanuel also from the Western region says, I'm imagining how I'm going to teach physics to my students later today in Nzima. When I'm only fluent in English and
he needs an interpreter in the classroom. So when he says it will interpret for him, that is the logistics you can.
And there are students who neither speak no understand Nzima or Chi. Well, it just tells you the challenges that are ahead of this idea. But once these things are properly addressed, I believe that will make.
So he mentioned, what he mentioned, what Gideon mentioned about there are some strategic steps that have to be taken, or that ought to be taken to help this initiative get its right effect. You need to make sure that you deploy right. So that we don't go and suffer, because it's good to use local languages, but if I find myself in the very wrong place, I can't speak the language. How do I do it? The students will suffer. So deploy right, and also ensure that the language that we're using in enforcing it, it's not just that. We should look at other ways, because you can use the language to speak, but we should also allow the use of cultural antecedents in the language. Because if I go and just translate what I see in the book, I should be able to also add culturally relatable element that will help substantiate these interpretations and make it set right with the student. Not just saying, reading it in Chi or in Dagbani, but you underpinning it with a cultural background that makes it more understandable and more relatable.
All right, so we'll jump straight to South Africa from Ghana. And in South Africa, the South African government, or South Africa, has announced plans to introduce Lenacapivir, a revolutionary long-acting HIV prevention drug in early 2026. HIV prevention drug. Wow. The move, led by the National Department of Health and the South African National AIDS Council, SANAC, in partnership with UNAIDS, aims to curb new infections, particularly among adolescent girls and young women who remain the most vulnerable. Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi emphasized the government's commitment to making the drug a public good, accessible, affordable, and locally produced. Backed by a $29 million global fund grant, the rollout will initially target 450,000 high-risk individuals across 23 districts in 6 provinces, marking a major step in South Africa's HIV prevention strategy. First off, Doc, what comes into your mind?
So I think
HIV prevention.
I think that we should put the announcement in context. People think that it is a cure. So there are two different things today. Research has furthered and advanced on to today the effect of HIV/AIDS on a patient that we used to know that will make you grow so slim and lean and you are unattractive. It's no more. There have been so many advanced medicines that can now preserve you in your own state. You will look as nice as you want to look, but you may still have the HIV virus within you, that when you engage in any activity sexual wise, you may pass it to the other person. But to curb that unfortunate happening that you can go spreading, people can now go get this new medicine, and some others are in the market, which are able to provide that long immunity and prevention of the virus from overcoming you. So let's say I go get a shot of this prevention drug, and I go out there and say, well, because I have that in me, if anybody has HIV or the virus and they cannot be, I would say, it can be transferred to me and make effect and take effect in me because I have been immune in that regard. So it fights against it. That is what it is. So it is not a means to help us lose guard of our prevention. I mean, these are advanced drugs, all right, but it still boils down as to be very cautious in our lifestyles, especially our sexual lifestyles, because even though it's a prevention drug that prevents you from getting HIV/AIDS, doesn't mean that it can cure HIV/AIDS. So you can still have it with you, but you are not cured of it. So there are two different things over here.
So your ending submission is where I want to take that point from. So I feel like this eventually might increase promiscuity in South Africa, because if I can take 2 shots in a year, that will prevent me from catching HIV. Whoa, let's go. I feel like that's an outright reaction from a lot of young people or people who are quite promiscuous. I mean, it's the reason HIV, I'm sorry to say, is prevalent in South Africa, because of promiscuity and all of these things, and for whatever belief some people have. So I feel like, as much as research-wise it is great, we have made progress to get something that will prevent, people from catching HIV and all of those things. Very soon, I feel like other African countries will jump on the rest of the world will jump on it.
It is not advisable for you to have that thought, because
but unfortunately, if I have thought about it, it means
you are buying life, you are buying time. Yeah, it's just like time buying. Doesn't mean that you can have all the time in the world. You will surely die. You will die because you are just trying to buy time to sustain yourself over some time. It doesn't promise you. It doesn't promise you cure. If there's a cure, cure is cure. Let's say you get malaria. Malaria has got a cure. It means that it is thoroughly evacuated. It's gone. You have no trace of it in the body. Some other diseases are not curable. That means that it can only be managed. So how long would you get it managed? Because you are still in the zone of death and you are buying time. That is not anything to be happy about.
Look, on a lighter note, I'll tell you why this thought came into my mind. Last night, I was just trying to get my mind off a few things, and I was scrolling through X, Twitter, and I saw somebody's post. It was a comment, I think, that is coming as a result of what I think Ghana is Commission on one of these bodies related to health, reporting that there's a decline in the use of condoms amongst the youth lately in Ghana. Okay. That's what pushed my mind, because I had seen the story over the weekend, because I was going through it preparing for today. So when I saw that story, that's just what came into my mind. It's the reason I'm saying what I'm saying.
I don't know. It's unfortunate when people, have stopped buying condoms. It's unfortunate.
My other mind tells me that people are beginning to practice abstinence.
Yeah, that is one way. I would say there's a group of people who are now saying we'll abstain.
Yeah.
We'll not do this again. And there's another group that says we are tired of buying condoms from pharmacies. Because the pharmacy knows that you are a regular customer. When you come, it's always condom.
So those are the group of people who know now that there's something that can prevent HIV, and then once South Africa does
it, should be another way. I believe in innovation. Okay. Now stop selling condoms in pharmacies and put them in boots, like ATM machines on the streets, okay? And let people go in there and click and tick. You see, look, there will be none in there.
Don't be surprised next year people will be taking flights to South Africa to go and take shots and come back. Look, this is interesting, but it's a good thing to know that there's progress in terms of research that has brought South Africa to this point, and to know that this is going to be locally manufactured in South Africa. It's absolutely.
But Phil, I think that I should sound this to everybody out there, please. It's good. Medicine has advanced and all that, but abstinence. So far as HIV/AIDS is concerned, abstinence is king. It's paramount. All right. So don't be enticed. Yeah, don't be enticed by any drug that is to enhance prevention or longevity for you, because if you have the virus, you have it, and you're just buying time. But stay away from sex that is unprotected and keep yourself safe. All right, that's the most important thing you have to do. Yeah, don't listen to any advice again. Okay.
And on that note, we'll take next story before we get into the lifestyle segment. African industrialist Aliko Dangote, founder of the Dangote Group, has reportedly reached a net worth of about 30 billion US dollars.
That's a lot of money, you know.
It's a lot of money, making him potentially the first African to enter the $30 billion club. His fortune has grown significantly in 2025, driven by expansion in cement operations, including a newly commissioned $160 million US dollar factory in Cote d'Ivoire, and bold plans to increase refining capacity to about 1.4 million barrels per day. Dangote's empire now spans cement, sugar, oil refining, and infrastructure, reinforcing his status as Africa's richest person. This is brilliant. I just want to clap for Dangote right now.
Let's do it for him.
Absolutely brilliant.
Let's do it for him.
Yeah,
he has done it very well. I always say that, Dangote's lifestyle or background or story is one that we should be. That's very inspiring. Now, in Africa, should always be looking at trying to create more billionaires. His wealth, I would say, was specially created. It was curated, I would say.
Yeah.
It was done with an intention to create an industrialist out of him. When governments had to say, well, handle this monopoly, he was given the opportunity to be the monopoly of basic commodities in Nigeria. Yes, and that helped him advance his empire. Fast forward, he has really made that mark. Through government connections and all that, he has become a billionaire. But I always say that becoming the world's, Africa's richest or Nigeria's richest, to me, doesn't close the circle. The circle must close on something. Sustainability. It must close on economic growth. Nigeria is still not in that position Looking at the majority of people, the population they have, and the population which are underutilized employment-wise, lingering in poverty, I see a big gap. China did a similar thing. China's government also tried to create billionaires, and they have done that. Done on doing that. No, if you go to the likes of the Alibaba Express, the Temu, the Shein, these are all Chinese enterprises that have been empowered.
And recently, the EV industry, the electric vehicle industry.
The government is involved, trying to grant support to its people to become giants in that area. So Aliko Dangote has been given that opportunity to grow and become an industrialist mogul in Nigeria. What happens to the people of Nigeria? Yes, what happens to them? How are they benefiting from this wealth? I think that I can clap for Dangote as much as I can. But to me, I think that the circle of achievements ends with turning the economic woes of Nigeria, not through one person. So it's only one billionaire in Nigeria who transcends to be the billionaire or the richest in Africa. It's tagged with a very respectful, so what? So what is the reinforcing effect of his wealth? It felt in Nigeria with expanding, creating more industries and employing more young people to be involved and having a living. So Nigeria can also be that place where you want to be, because at the moment, it's that place you want to be. And in Africa-wise, what are African governments also learning from the Dangote story? Can we also say we want to start doing monopoly, giving basic commodities production to some people, like what we see in Ghana? The president also handed to his brother a gold consignment that, okay, mine gold. Maybe I want you to be another wealthy person in the country as well in the area of gold. Maybe you can just replicate it. Add other people. Let them also have that consignment also. Let them also grow in their space. Let's build more billionaires. There's nothing wrong with it. We can do it together, not just centralizing it, by expanding the opportunity. I am for that idea.
I want to agree with you on that, and also build on beyond that, because it's clear that Dangote's wealth is underpinned by industrialization. Moving from commodities into manufacturing, refining, infrastructure, and whatever.
Sugar, salt.
Yes. So when we have seen this with an individual, the question you have already asked is what I just want to re-echo. What cue is the Nigerian government, number one, taking? What cue is other governments or other governments across Africa taking from this? Look at the wealth or net worth of one person who has done this. And now he's celebrated as Africa's billionaire, richest person in Africa. How are we going to learn from this? Because the ripple effect of his billionaireship must reflect on Nigeria, especially in the sectors and industry within which he operates. These are supposed to be the industries that are supposed to be driving the economic fortunes of Nigeria. So if one person has unconsciously become the status quo or the standard of reference, I think it is only fair that African governments or anybody who wishes, to whom it may concern, learn from him as a model.
Phil, let me tell you how the dynamics and the push and pull factors that I would say regulates business in Africa. First of all, it is not easy for you to thrive as a businessman in Ghana or in Africa. Why?
That's a fact.
Because the burden of tax that is dumped on you is unbearable. And for someone like Dangote, as wealthy as he is, he could have established more than one factories in Ghana for the same cost of sugar or whatsoever. But he's unable to do so. Why? Because of the price you have to pay, the tax you have to pay. And you cannot, it will kill your business. This is from Latif from Lagos, and this is what he said. Says, Aliko Dangote being the first African man to reach the net worth of $30 billion US and also the only African man who had maintained the position for almost 13 years, said, we salute you. It's not easy. The only thing Nigerians are begging him, and Ghanaians are also saying same, is to reduce the price of a cement so that the poor should build house for their own. Niger will praise him more for doing it. So you see, even in that course, why is his product, or why are the products still expensive? Because of taxes.
Yeah.
So I'll say the circle of his achievements can never be closed, because the money, the wealth is only flowing through the affluent. I mean, Dangote has friends on the same level as him.
Definitely.
And the money is only circulating amongst the affluent.
Yeah.
If the least person is not touched, you have done nothing. I can tell you for a fact. Because if you lend $1 billion to another billionaire, you've done nothing. You've done nothing. But when the least person down there is able to benefit from what you have done, is able to buy a cement for an amount that will not affect him so much, then we can say you have done something, because your impact has far reached down.
Yeah.
So look at it. He's a billionaire, but yet the impact is not felt. It's only him and his rich friends, and that is not what we're talking about here. I mean, that is not what we're talking about here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just excited to know that, for example, he's been able to do something in Cote d'Ivoire as well, and he shows his willingness to invest outside Nigeria.
Yeah, he has a factory in Ghana too.
Yeah,
the Dangote factory.
But I believe, like you're saying, the same tax effect, because it's a thing that applies to a lot of African countries.
I mean, it's very disturbing, and it's an economic matter. Why are we allowing so much taxes to kill us? Ghana, living in Ghana, you all know, it's very unbearable.
Yeah.
As of today, last year, the people of Ghana were crying or were lamenting over the price of a bowl of cake at 5 cedis.
Yeah.
Today, I learned it has been promoted to 7 cedis.
7 cedis, yeah.
Why is it so? But the cost of maize, I learned is reducing. So it's comparatively very disturbing to know that the raw material maize itself is cheaper to buy in that quantity, but the end product is expensive.
Yeah.
What is happening? Is it not taxes? So in economics, in pricing, the pricing model, there's a formula we call the C minus T. The C minus T is what the producer does to the consumer. When when you overburden the producer with tax, he will add it.
Yeah, pass it on to the consumer. Yeah.
And that's where the deadweight loss effect is felt. So we should not let taxes kill our economy and also kill our propensity to create jobs. Because Dangote, I believe, would have wished to do more. Because of the taxes, he can't do more.
Yeah.
And that is one, and it has a far-reaching effect too. International-wise, we have so much debt.
Yeah, so much debt.
So these taxes are what we are doing to hasten our efforts to pay our debts, and the circle of impoverishment goes back and comes back to that least person down there who can't afford to buy a bowl of cake, but is still paying so much. I think that we have a lot of work to do.
In addition to that, we, in terms of the economic scale, we need to learn to retain value as a key thing. This thing is across Africa, because we have a lot of raw materials everywhere in Africa. If we don't learn to create value of these products, we will not be able to produce the likes of Dangote anymore. I mean, whatever he has done for himself, yes, that's fine. But it will become like a monopoly of individuals when it comes to making money. And that's what I think a lot of people don't even understand when it comes to being in business in Africa. So I feel like we need to understand how to create value and retain it.
This value creation, value retention and creation mindset has been something we have all yearned for so many years.
Yes.
But we the people of Ghana, of Ghana, are also not helping local industries grow.
It's always a problem.
We've Agyemang has been producing rice since day one.
Yes.
But where can you buy Agyemang rice? Where do we buy rice? And who says how much priority do we give to Agyemang rice? I'll give Nigeria a very good case study. Nigeria said we would ban the importation of rice and give the room for growth for our local rice productions. And yes, In Nigeria, you can't take any other foreign rice. The likes of those Thai, whatsoever, you will not get it.
All of that.
You will eat local rice, and you will use it to do any other delicacy you want to eat it with. You better try and use it to do it all. So the jollof rice, the fried rice, it's all made with the local rice. But if you open the market up, they don't complain.
The influx of the
they don't complain. You have to close if you want to really make a difference and help your local economy. Because the competition coming from outside, it's not a joke. It's no joke. In terms of price, imported cement from China sells cheaper than local cement made in Ghana.
These things
have you ever thought of this?
Even poultry products is the reason people complain about the price of eggs. Okay, because and chicken products, what you go to buy at the cold store it looks cheaper than what you buy for a live chicken here.
That's imported, right?
Yes. So these are some of the problems in the space. So if we want to make Africa what we think we want it to be, let's start practicing the conversations. Because when it comes to talk in Africa, we are great.
We talk.
We are great.
But they are bold. See, there are some
great, but the implementation.
Decisions we take, it has its own ramifications. For example, you have the international community to banter with. If you say, I'm closing my borders to the importation of rice and meat, I'm going to ensure that I will strengthen my local economies and make them able enough to have the capacity to produce the chicken we need, the eggs we need, to strengthen your own economy and your own capital and currency. That is the kind of bonus we're looking for. If we can't do this and we keep opening economies up, this economy at this level in an open space will never benefit local economies. And that is what we should understand. We can't fight, we can't stand those competitions, we can't stand it.
Well, it's all up to us, the African governments. The ball is in your court now. We appreciate Dangote, but let's look at him as a model and use him to turn things around for Africa. Stay tuned, we'll be back with Lifestyle.
It's time to celebrate the 2025 African Universities Day, brought to you by the Association of African Universities AAU. On November 12th, universities across Africa will unite to celebrate knowledge, reflect on progress, and shape the future of higher education on the continent. From the 10th to the 14th of November, a rich lineup of activities will take place, including high-level symposiums, students' debates, policy dialogues, an innovation expo, awards gala, and many more. The celebration will be held in a hybrid format, with events taking place virtually and at the AAU headquarters in Accra, Ghana. This year's celebration will focus on the theme, the future of learning in Africa, technology, innovation, skills, and inclusive growth. Join African universities, policymakers, industries, development partners, and key stakeholders across Africa to explore the future of African higher education.
Okay, you're welcome back from that break, and we are still on the Hello Africa morning show here in Accra, Ghana, from the headquarters of the AAU in East Legon. In the lifestyle segment, two quick stories. So the first one is celebrating the man they call Chimere. I hope I got the name correctly. Yeah, Chimere. So in the bustling heart of Conakry, Guinea's capital, walls once plain and grey are now bursting with color and story, thanks to Omar Diaw, the Senegalese graffiti artist better known as Chimere, since moving from Dakar to Conakry in 2018. Chimere has transformed the city's concrete surfaces into living murals that celebrate African pride, music, and memory. His art, from portraits of resistance hero Samori Touré to modern icons and cultural dancers, has earned him both public admiration and official support. Once dismissed as vandalism, graffiti in Guinea has evolved into a vibrant new language of self-expression, history, and hope. Doc, before we talk about Chimeri, the graffiti designs we have seen in Accra, what's your idea about it?
That is also one way of education.
Yeah.
You know, we learn through many ways. Some learn through arts. I saw one graffiti at the Akwaje interchange, where I saw some women painted on the walls, and they had their names. So I was like, who are these? And so these were special heroines who had contributed, especially the likes of Theodosia Oko, with the national flag, right, and then the likes of the Ama Tedu, who also in the area of literature. You have so many stories to tell through art, helping our young people to not forget their heroes and heroines. Because if they are not in the books, where would they find them? This is history brought to you in full glare of the environment. So helping you to also appreciate some of these key things. Because, I think that in that regard, it helps us to refresh our minds on these special people, who they are, and even want to read about them. So I went to Google and I said, okay, so there was one Amatedu who was to this area, to do so who did that. It helps us to learn. So come on, I won't be surprised to see one of the late Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings.
I will not be surprised as well. I will not be surprised.
Because the future generation to also read about them, not forget them.
So that's a little bit about graffiti art in Accra. So back to the story, which makes me think that generally, like you mentioned, these things should not end up as an exhibition of an individual's craft. Okay, what Chimere has done is beautiful. I've seen a few videos and all of it. Like, they look good. So I also appreciate the point of coming, where you're coming from, where we'll talk about people learning from these arts, celebrating iconic people and you know, writing some stories about them. Because I've been in many spaces where I see a lot of photos, pictures. For example, when you go to the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, there are a lot of photos of Kwame Nkrumah, and there are, you know, portions of speeches he made that are written in ink or printed and all of those things. I would have loved to see these things in some sort of artistic, you know, writing. Not to say that the fonts in which they are being written are not artistic enough, but, you know, art comes to you in a certain sense, opens your mind in a different way, and it doesn't make you look at photos as just regular photos. It gives you a different vibe. So it can awaken some sort of excitement in anybody to read more, to know more. Because like you're saying, the example you just made, I can definitely tell you without prophecy that there are people who don't know who the names you mentioned, Theodosia Oko and Ama Tedu. Okay, but these are people everybody should learn about in Ghana. Theodosia Oko is one of the fantastic sports persons, our icons we have had in this country. Okay, when it comes to hockey, Ama Tedu in terms of literature.
Wood,
I mean, all of these wonderful.
These are all
people we can. So these are people we can, because I see this thing a lot when it comes to football, especially in England. When you go to traditional places like the Merseyside and Liverpool, where Liverpool is and then Everton, there are a lot of buildings. People have even donated their buildings such that people would draw like legendary footballers who have played for the clubs of Liverpool or Everton, whatever, you know, on their walls. So it looks like a design, but it tells you a message. You pass around and you know that, Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings once played for Liverpool or one plays for Chelsea, whatever. That kind of, it gives you a certain sense. So that's the thing that will draw your attention and say, hey, who is Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings? Let me read about this person, or let me Google him or find him or whatever. Okay, so to see what Chimere is doing with graffiti is a beautiful thing, because the ones we have seen in Accra, there's one I've seen along the Adenta Road, which has the legendary Obrafour, one of Ghana's finest musicians and lyricists. So I'm sure somebody would want to be asking, who is this person? Why is the name of Obrafour?
Do you know
all of these things?
Have you heard of Marian Sugri Bugri?
I've heard the name. Yeah.
She in 1999 won Miss Ghana.
Yes.
And later on became one of the top runner-ups in the Miss Universe, placing as finalist in 1999 as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you see, such a figure from Miss Ghana to Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Yet no props.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about her.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember her because 1999 I heard that a Ghanaian was making us proud in Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Then I was still a young boy, so I could catch up.
Yeah.
But I mean, what happens to posterity? The Gen Zs don't know about Sugi Bugri, but they should see something on the street about this gallery. And you know, that is not vandalism. I said it's tourism, which is in a whole different dimension.
Yeah.
Because when you're on the street of Accra and you have got nothing to look at or nothing to take a photo of, come on, you should be able to look to your left and to your right and be marveled by the arts in the street, because it also adds value, not beyond the learning. It beautifies the place, and also it has that kind of honor that we cherish our own heroes and heroes. So I'm up for it.
I'm glad you mentioned that it beautifies the place. When I first saw the Akweje one that you were talking about, I was driving past and I was thinking, why would you be defacing the walls of this beautiful overpass and things like that? But upon a second thought, I realized that, okay, if you leave it without any designs or anything of the sort, we don't paint them actually. We just leave the concrete work the way they look. And it occurred to me that before the graffiti art, you see people pasting, what's it called, flyers for their programs, all sort of notices, job advertisement. They just paste them anywhere, and that is rather what defaces the interchange and you know the walls around. So I have come to appreciate that. Tell a story through graffiti arts on that wall. Let somebody pass. And I've seen many people actually even shoot music videos and
look at
social media content.
Look at the Kadeshi interchange as well.
Yes.
Kadeshi interchange, the one at Palms Mall, Palace Mall.
Yes.
Spentex.
Yes.
Look at how beautiful it is, painting the red, gold, green colors.
Exactly.
And other Edinkra symbols.
Yes.
It's learning. So if I saw an Edinkra symbol, I would be like, what is this? I'll take a picture. And Google will give you the Jinyame. Means that it's all about God.
And every one of those symbols has a meaning.
Yes. Yeah. And it's learning. So learning, it's now so open. Ubiquitous learning.
Yeah.
So now you can be on the street and still be learning something more national. We can build our nationalism through these things. Seeing the flag, the meaning of the star, the meaning of the eagle, the flagstaff, or on the coat of arms. We can beautify our countries and cities through our own national monuments and still add knowledge to ourselves. Rebuild our nationalism and also rebuild knowledge as countrymen.
Yeah.
I'm for that.
Yeah. I just hope and pray that people would accept this kind of urban art revival such that they would appreciate the works of the artists first of all, and also be able to learn a thing or two when they see this art displayed in it. I mean, it's not just about the beauty, but for me, it's about the learning part of it, because there's something about arts. Anytime you see a drawing or anything, I mean, all of these designs, the backdrops that we are seeing here, every one of them appeals to you in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, the way you look at it, it even opens your mind and gives you some ideas you don't even think about. Yeah. Okay, so I think that people should be open themselves to enjoying art. I mean, going to a gallery is so expensive. So why won't you enjoy free art by the roadside? I mean, when you are driving by. All right, so in the next story, still on the lifestyle segment, this is also a major conversation which has gained traction online, and people are talking about it. So there's a video, I don't know if we have it, we probably might play it, but an emotional moment at a Kumasi saloon has sparked online debate over Ghana's long-standing school hair policies. A viral video captured a young girl in tears as her thick, curly hair was trimmed before reporting to Ya Asantwa Girls. That's the video. Before reporting to Ya Asantwa, Asantwa Girls Senior High School in Tanoso. The school, named after the legendary Ashanti Queen mother, enforces Ghana's traditional rule, which requires all female students to keep their hair short a policy set to promote discipline and focus in school. In the video, the student appeared visibly distressed as the stylist prepared to cut her hair, with her mother by her side trying to console her. The barber who trimmed her hair said in an interview that he met the girl and the mother at the salon, where he was informed the school had insisted on the haircut despite a doctor's report. The barber explained that he shared the video on social media without ill intent as part of his usual practice of documenting his work. However, the girl's father reportedly confronted him afterward, expressing anger over the post. He added that his intention was not harmful, describing how even other customers at the salon tried to comfort the crying girl, assuring her she would look beautiful afterwards. The incident has reignited discussion about whether such school policies rooted in colonial traditions should still apply in modern Ghana, where many believe personal expression and cultural identity deserve greater space. Doc.
Phil, in certain sensitive matters, we need to be very, I would say, constructive and objective when we are sharing our views on these.
Absolutely.
If you ask my opinion, how does she look after the haircut? I would say, splendid. She looks cute. She looks nice. I mean, that is how. I mean, if she was afraid that she was going to lose her beauty, she still got the bag. For so many years in the senior high school space, young ladies who, having left primary school and been able to save so much hair, lose it when they are entering senior high school. And some find it very hard to part ways with that hair because they spend so much to keep that hair. But I feel, you know, I agree with the minister. And this is not the first time this has been fought over or had been fought in trying to proliferate this this ideology of making young ladies carry their hair, whatsoever it may be, to school. There is a lot of danger that looms if we give in for that to happen.
Okay. And if we allow them to keep the hair.
Yes, we shouldn't lower the standards in any way because of some preferences or some antecedents. There may be special cases where losing your hair can affect you. So that, I mean, when the doctor is able to prescribe, say, well, after my assessment, I think that this young lady has to keep her hair. It's a special case. I think we should also assess special cases. But for making it an open case, it's a problem. This was a problem. Because, you know, hair management, hair treatment, and hair care, it's very expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, and if you allow that to happen in schools, there's a lot of danger for young ladies who now have to find ways and means to keep their hair. How would they have to keep styling their hair up and every day? The distraction is to affect. When I was writing my WASI, my headmaster said, don't grow your hair during exam days. Because during exam days, you need every bit of time for preparation. You should not spend much time on your hair, rubbing your towel through your soggy hair, trying to get all the water out and combing it to ensure that it is dry. That's a lot of time just for your hair. So cut your hair down during exam times so that when you are done bathing, you just rub your towel to your hair, you are good to go. And these were advice that were helping us. It made us very smart. But you see, women and their hair, do you know how many hours you spend? You know how many hours you spend doing a braiding? You can spend almost 3 or 4 hours doing a hair braid. And are you in school or you are living your life outside? In a school, an academy, you succumb to the rules. You cannot carry your flamboyant looking hair into the Ghana Army and tell Ghana Army that for the sake of human rights and freedom of expression or look, they should allow you to carry your hair. It would deter your pace and your art or your performance in the training field. Your hair can be caught up in the tree. Yes, like how
during a battle.
The Bible, what happened to David's son?
Yeah.
No, was Absalom. Was trapped up in the tree. because he has so much hair. So you see, the setting does not encourage that because it will deter progress. That is why, and in an academic setting, we want to deter people from nurturing all this because it doesn't help them become more efficient and effective. So they should accept it that you are entering an academy. Let the academy mold you. And one molding is that it tells you to what, cut down your hair, like the army will do to you. Accept it. Okay, don't fight it.
All the people on social media who are thinking that this is wrong and saying that this does not affect
academic performance. Yes, they are.
Do you agree with them or not?
You know, yes, because they have got an antecedent. They have the Magai issue. I know the day that Magai issue happened, I happened to sit in the same vehicle, public transport vehicle, with his father.
Oh, okay.
He was by my side.
Okay.
So I was just looking at him. I was like, Magai, his father, you are going through a lot. There's so much pressure on you right now. Your son and all that. But you see, Magai's case is also a special case. He believed that his hair is, for him, it's a religion.
Yeah, he's a Rastafarian.
Yeah, so you see, I said there are special cases that they have to be, these are special cases that you have to try and then accommodate and test and see. It's every Ghanaian saying that they want to keep their hair like Magai as a religion. If that's the case, then we create a school of Rastafarianism. Yes, no, you create a secondary school for Rastafarians and let them go to because that temptation is an issue. So if every young person, well, Magai's case study proves that you can have any hairstyle you want and still excel in class, then we'll have so many people doing what they like. And it will now neutralize this whole order of your hairstyle because now we know that there's a study that come out that, well, it doesn't really affect your performance, but it's not only about performance academically. It's about your livelihood, your lifestyle and well-being. And you see, if we think it's going to be a problem, where people will say, well, we have seen the case studies and it doesn't really add up, then create a school for Rastafarians. Like, there are some schools, they will not allow you to wear certain dress. The code is standard.
Yeah.
You can't say because of your religion you want to wear this.
Yeah.
You either fit in or you are out. So let's strengthen our institutions. That's very important. Don't weaken it. Strengthen the institutions. And if there is any resistance or any sort, create one for them so they can go to their own school. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think this
so
conversation...
You don't neutralize, you don't tell people to do things they want to do. I think we can help them in that regard.
This conversation will go on because everybody thinks or feels like they have the right to express themselves. And basically because some of these things are issues that have to do with personal effects or things that are on you. Okay, so people are becoming emotionally attached to the conversation as well. But to a greater extent or for a greater good, would you allow your child to keep their hair for the sake of going to school and then having all of these controversies and not be able to have the peace of mind to study? Or would you just rather do what the code of conduct requires, go through a phase, and then from there you are in the university where you can do whatever you want with your hair? I mean, these are some of the questions I believe people should be realistic.
What would you do
about it?
Will you fund?
Or if I had,
will you allow it to happen?
So, in my opinion, this is my genuine opinion. If my child has hair, and as a matter of fact, in my school, I went to Addis Ababa College. In my year group, we had guys who had long hair because some of them are not entirely, let me say, half Ghanaians. Okay. And then their other parents are probably from either Europe or Asia or whatever. So they always kept long. I had mates who kept a pony. Okay, so this is a conversation.
It was allowed.
It was allowed.
But so that means that the law.
But it didn't mean at the time that everybody was allowed to keep.
Yeah, I also had
there were people who
had
kept
the same
an afro and then they had to cut it
off.
off.
After a while, they all turned looking sweaty. They all had sweat.
Yeah, so I think this conversation
they had to be immersed. See, you can come from anywhere with any hairstyle, but when you enter that environment, you have to adapt to it. Always adapt.
So to answer your question finally, if I had a child who had hair like this and wanted to keep her hair, if I have the money, I'll pay for a school that will allow her to keep her hair.
There's no school that will do that. Yes.
I can send her
Be
abroad.
funding her to be cornrow in school.
I can
It's
send
your
her
budget.
I can send her
It is your budget.
to school
Parents,
abroad,
please.
and that's about
Let us
it.
not pull this matter too much. It's just a phase of life, okay? Don't.
You are lost for words, my brother.
You know. See, you can't carry your treasure box to heaven. It doesn't work, all right? You will leave it here. So
Anyway,
allow the system to work.
all right. I know this conversation will continue. Keep them coming in the comment section, and then let me just read this final comments, and then we'll be out of here. So, better from the Vulture Region says, they say it's a tradition. They say that it's a tradition in some schools to enforce equality among students and minimize distractions related to hairstyles. Okay. Linda from Legon also says, priorities are wrongly placed, focusing on appearance when those aren't even huge issues. Schools around the globe follow similar systems and don't deduce students to this. Genuinely, standards of appearance aren't even upheld by everyone in the systems. Why don't foreigners of other races have to cut their hair at some of these institutions, but rather are subjected to it? Okay, I have some comments I was going to make about this message, but
Phil,
I'll just leave it there.
You know,
so
we're actually at the break of time, so we have to wrap up. But I just want to make one thing clear. There's still for one last thing, right? See, I've always said, I said it's not backed by academic performance. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that if you don't cut your head down, you don't do well academically. We're not saying that. It's just a system, and that is what the system requires. That you don't come with your hair that is so flashy and flamboyant, because the system is regulated, and we want you to fit in. Period.
It's as simple
as that.
All right. So that's how we end the Hello Africa morning show today. Make a deal with us as you follow us on our social media, on Facebook and YouTube, on Association of African Universities. So on Wednesday, we'll have a midweek news. And then
also subscribe to channel 2.
Yes,
subscribe.
Absolutely. And then we'll be back next Monday with the Hello Africa morning show. My name is Philemon Ederson. I did this with my brother.
My name is Agyemang-Rawlings. So when you see us in town, just call it, holla at us.
Take care and bye-bye.
Bye.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.